reason the job of the jury members is incredibly challenging. What we have done is that in order to maintain the integrity of the process, which is extremely sacrosanct, we have made sure that the details of each and every entry are outlined separately during the submissions. And we've also had who's who of the industry, of the research industry, to be on the jury. So the jury members for this particular award are people from the senior leadership teams of research agencies, of client-side organizations, of marketing teams, and advertising agencies as well. Um, they have had to take the hats of the organizations that they work for and have to put on the hat of the industry experts and help us in that process. We are really honored and privileged to have them with us on these awards. The process for identifying the Lifetime Achievement Honor was slightly different, and we will talk about it in more details when we come to that particular segment. Can we have the jury video, please? Thank you, jury members, once again. I must tell you a good example, a great example actually of the integrity of the process that we follow. As you know, this event is usually scheduled in the month of December, but unfortunately, we had a technical glitch in the submission of the entries, so we had as a team we had an option of continuing in December and pushing through to meet the deadline. However, we at the core team of MRSI decided not to go ahead and decided that we should give more time for all the entries to be submitted once again with all the full details, so that each and every entry is available in full details for the assessment, giving equal footing to everyone. Now, I understand and apologize for the pain that it caused to people who submitted the entries, because some of them had to do a bit of a rework. But when we spoke to the jury members about it, it was really heartening to see that all of them applauded that decision. And all of them, without a blink, gave us more time in their incredibly busy schedule. Seeing that, it sort of reaffirmed the belief in the integration, in the integrity of the process, and it told us that we were taking the right decision and that the team was with us every step of the way. That 2020 has been an unusual year is probably a statement that you've heard more than anything else. Apart from probably the fact that, can you hear me on the innumerable video calls that we've had this year? But research industry particularly suffered a lot in this year, not only because it was not possible physically to sort of do surveys among respondents, but obviously people were not in the mindset and participate in the mindset to sort of participate in the surveys, and that was the last thing on their minds. Our field teams had a very difficult job this year, and the researchers didn't have it easy either. We do want to celebrate the spirit of research in the industry that has shown through in this particularly challenging time. And for that, we started a COVID-19 special award for this year, to celebrate, and where we invited entries for the work that was done for consumers, for employees, for organizations, for brands, for the COVID time. We were absolutely delighted to see that 43 entries came from various different organizations for the COVID special category in itself. And that work is just the tip of the iceberg of the kind of work that we've done in the industry. We salute each and every entry and applaud the commendable effort that everyone in the research industry has done at the COVID times. Talking of entries, this year we have received 148 entries from 36 different organizations for the 8 categories that we have. So we have had lesser categories this year, and last year we had 169 entries for 14 categories, and this year we've already had 148 for 8. So this all goes to show the acceptance of the awards and the eagerness of the people to come forward and shine the light on the great work that is being done. We are truly grateful to each and every organization and each and every individual who has spent time and effort to write those entries and for creating the presentations for the jury. Each one of you is a hero. An event like this couldn't have been done without you. Finally, nothing can be truly achieved without a team. An event like this, particularly the one that is being done digitally, requires a huge amount of people to come together with hugely different skills than what a physical event involves. I want to highlight the MRSI team of people, 4 people particularly, who worked tirelessly for months to bring this event to life. Can we please have the team video? Thank you. One thing that I want to say that on your screen, you would be seeing 2 different screens, one on the left and one on the right. And I'm appearing on one screen, which is on your left-hand side, and the videos are appearing on the right-hand side. Now, what you can do if you wish to, at any point in time, on any of the screens, if you go to the bottom right, there is a little icon to sort of expand the screen and make it full screen to take away a full screen of your laptop. If you want to do that on any of the screens, if you want to watch me more closely, you can do that. But if you want to watch the videos more closely, you can always expand that screen and look at it in more details. So thank you very much. I would now shut up and we would start the evening with the awards that all of you have been eagerly waiting for. We would begin with our very first category on the Golden Key Awards 2020 of the Innovative Data Collection, Innovations in Data Collections. And we would like to invite, I'm privileged to invite Mr. Ashwini Agarwal, CMI Director of Unilever, to do the honors. Ashwini.
Hey, Manish.
Over to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I must say I'm really excited to be here and share with you the winners for the first category of awards. The Golden Key Award for Best Data Collection Innovation. This award actually was about primary data collection work using data collection methodologies, innovation or data collection process innovation. And in this category particularly, the jury was looking for originality and freshness of thinking, innovativeness of the data collection, robustness, scalability of the techniques deployed, minimization of errors, and of course, final impact attributable to the innovation of data collection. The jury members for this category comprised Abhishek Sehgal, Head CMI at Google India, Preeti Reddy, CEO, Kantar South Asia, Rashi Goyal, CMO of Nestle India. We have 4 finalists in this category, and they are Colgate-Palmolive, India Limited, Hindustan Unilever, InMobi Technology, and Carvi Insights. And now, let's take a look at the nominations.
The DVOC toolkit consists of 3 main components. A web app which provides access to the tool as well as training and learning materials, a set of dashboards in each market, and an alerting system that flags quality-related mentions from consumers. The data that powers DVOC. The DVOC dashboards collect consumer feedback from three main sources: social media, consumer engagement centres, and e-commerce sites. Although the data landscape is highly fragmented and constantly changing, the DVOC platform enables us to automatically analyse this vast amount of unstructured consumer data in near real time by applying advanced natural language processing techniques. This allows us to bring any quality-related consumer mention directly to the fingertips of our analysts within a day, enabling quick investigation and action.
It all started when we at Colgate-Palmolive wanted to gain deeper understanding of consumers' brushing habits, which can inspire us to break through into new ideas and products. We were on the hunt for the method that took us beyond the cumbersome and over-engineered UNA type of studies. We wanted something real, simple, scalable, speedy, and cost-efficient. It became possible with Brandscape's Selfie Technique. Selfie Technique only requires the presence of a smartphone in the respondent's home and nothing else. It helps to go beyond the claims to actual behavior. We were able to cover 200 plus consumers, 600 plus brushing occasions, and 100 plus facets of the brushing activities in just under 4 days. Some inspirational insights that we got from this study are the difference in day and night brushing, brushing habits of Ayurvedic-based users, role of water in brushing, and many more. The unexplored angles have given us many inspiring ideas to pursue and convert into business opportunities.
Pretty long 4 minutes, I must say. And now it's time to announce the winner. Unilever, woohoo! And now, let's hear it from the winners.
Very much. I feel humbled and honored in accepting this award on behalf of everyone, the entire team in Unilever. This award is a testimony to the fact that great work happens when we collaborate and co-create products. This particular project was co-created by the CMI team and the quality team and is certainly driving a lot of business value. I also want to thank the team MRSI for organizing the Golden Key Awards and giving us opportunity to show our best work. And this kind of awards really motivates us and push us to do more. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ashwini. And congratulations, Hindustan Unilever and the team. I'm really, really proud, I must say. The next section is a little different from the awards. What we're going to do is that it's about a unique perspective about the life of field and operations people via the story of late Arun Nandi. Ronabi Sen has written a book on the life of late Arun Nandi called The God of Field Arun Nandi. A little bit about Ronabi Sen. He started his career with Mode in 1983 And after that, he's worked in several different parts of the world, particularly in Asian countries and Africa. He obviously worked very, very closely with Arun and was in touch with us in the last few years. He has his time that he spent in different parts of the world has fueled his passion for storytelling, and that's why he's put that passion to write a book on Arun Nandi. There are two more books that are coming up from Ronabi Sen, Finding Graham and Tears of My Motherland, and hopefully more to come. So let's have a look at the video on the late Arun Nandi by Ronabi Sen.
Hello, everybody. This is Ranubir. First, why this book was written, why people should care. Many of us who are in operations or in research will know that in any market research organization, the field operations is an area of expertise and is backbone for the data collection. And I've been in this field of operations for the last 37 years. I'm fortunate to have worked with many stalwarts, research gurus, operations managers, as well as down to interviewers whom I still interact with. I decided to write about late Arun Nandi first in the Facebook for four primary reasons. It was he who inspired many of us who were in early 20s and were working as freelancers to think about making a career in field or operations. He made us love our work and we became passionate. There are innumerable stories in the book where you will feel the passion. The passion was engineered perhaps by Arun Nandi. After the unfortunate and untimely death of Arun Nandi, his wife Ivy is in challenging condition to say the least. So through this sale of the book, I could contribute some amount to her, but that's not enough. More the books get sold, more she'll be able to get fund at regular interval. And I pray for her well-being and well-wish to her all the best of luck. Ranubir.
Okay, before we go to the next award, I'm going to say something that you probably heard a million times, particularly last year. In case your video is buffering, in case you're not able to see something properly, you must do two things. First, check your Wi-Fi connection. It might be a problem. Or a lot of people in your house might be using the Wi-Fi connection, particularly if your family is sitting and watching Netflix while you're on this show, while you're on this event. So the second thing you must do is that just refresh your browser once again, try and delete the cookies and the cache, etc., and it'll start working. So do that, and the event will work perfectly fine. The next Golden Key Awards category for the evening is Best Developmental Research. And I'm really privileged to invite Mr. Prashant Koleri, Head of Insights at Nielsen at South Asia, to do the honors. Prashant? How are you doing, man?
Thanks, Manish. Very good evening to all of you. I'm very, very happy to be here today. And as the category that was suggested by Manish, it's very evident this is we're looking for award for the best research approach in terms of social sector, some for governmental work, or it could be for non-profit organizations. There are a few criteria that were quite important for this. Of course, originality and freshness of thinking, but more importantly, the complexity and scale that was managed, the robustness and the innovative methodology that was used for this itself. And most importantly, the kind of impact it can be attributed to the social cause that it was attached to. We had a very esteemed jury that actually evaluated these nominations. I just want to first say thanks to the jury and just want to read out the name of the jury members. We had Amitabh Gupta, Head of Consumer Insights at Colgate-Palmolive. We had Prashun Basu, Global Head of Strategic Alliances and New Verticals at Nielsen. Sandeep Arora, EVP for Datamatics, and R. Lakshmanan, who is Executive Director in Rural Electrification Corporation, and also the CEO of REC Power Distribution Company. The three finalists that we had Let me just read out in alphabetical order. We had Hansa Research Group, Private Limited, Kantar IMRB, and we also had Mr. Praveen Tripathi and his team. Let us look at the 3 nominations for the Best Developmental Research category.
This study was commissioned by Tata Trust, assessed whether multiple initiatives in different domains implemented over a decade had collectively made a lasting impact on quality of life of rural Uttarakhand households.
Rather than using typical dimensions advocated by World Bank or local governments, this research constructs measures of quality of life rooted in the community.
The study used a 3-phase design. Phase 1 to generate dimensions by consulting those with exposure to Uttarakhand rural life. Phase 2 to elicit dimensions that matter to Uttarakhand rural households. And Phase 3 to assess delta improvement from households in a beneficiary village versus those in a carefully chosen control village.
Other distinctive aspects of design included A. Recognizing that different life experiences will lead to different prioritization of dimensions and thus dividing the universe in 12 segments. B. A sampling frame sensitive to measure lasting difference in quality of life. C. A binary choice construct which makes minimum demands on evaluative capabilities of the respondent. And D. A discussion by researcher with 10% of respondents after completion of the structured interview for a deeper understanding of responses. Thank you, gentlemen.
Scaling India and job formalization is the main agenda of the Government of India. Evaluating these schemes for the key objectives to ensure effective use of public resources. The work scope was enormous as these 3 schemes were functional in most states and union territories. It involved feedback from 35 to 40 different kinds of stakeholders, think tanks, sectoral experts, district and block level officers, institutional heads, employers and beneficiaries. 100 FGDs, 610 in-depth interviews and 2,500 plus surveys were conducted. 40 different types of questionnaires were developed. Unprecedented challenges were faced at every step. The team overcame it through resilience, innovative thinking and a problem-solving approach. This included added responsibility of not only evaluation of schemes' effectiveness but also auditing government database. Arrest of field teams due to CAA and NRC protests. It was quickly resolved by on-ground field executives by seeking cooperation of local leaders. And then there was COVID-19, which called for immediate changes to methodology to online and telephonic mode, quick training of teams, reprogramming, database collection, and new quality check methods. And the impact was overwhelming. Study findings were presented to Niti Aayog, NSDC, and all related ministries, which were well appreciated. Recommendations were incorporated in the 15th Finance Commission.
Those were the nomination videos. Well, now for the big moment. this is the award. Once again, congrats on behalf of the entire research industry. Fabulous job. Yeah.
Thank you, Prashant, and congratulations to the Hansa Research team for the fantastic award that they've got just now. Let's move on to the next award of the evening. The next award for the evening is Business Impact Through Analytics, and I'm proud to invite Dr. Derek, who's the Chief of Measurement Science and Business Analytics at BAR. Dr. Derek Gray, good to have you here.
Thanks.
Over to you.
So I'm here to present the Best Business Impact Through Analytics Award. This award is essentially a case study that proves some analytics that was worked on either a big data set or a small data set. But the important thing is that it resulted in a demonstration of business impact for a client that could be internal or external. We were looking for originality, freshness of ideas, the complexity of the challenge, the innovativeness of the analytical solution, the robustness of the technique, and also the final impact, as well as the impact for the client. The jury for this award consisted of Sanjoy Dutta, who's the head of marketing research at ITC, Sonia Powell, the CEO of Carvey Insights, Derek Gray, Chief of Measurement Science and Business Analytics at BARC India, and Snehanshu Mitra, the CEO of the Center of Excellence, Data Science and Advanced Analytics. The finalists in alphabetical order are Absolute Data Research and Analytics Services, Hindustan Unilever, and Magic 9 Media and Analytics. Let's look at the entries.
Consumer lifestyles and demands are no longer what they used to be. Trends are exploding and dying very quickly, giving businesses very little reaction time. Brands need to be able to see into the future to survive the present. Combining the power of various technologies, the CMI People Data Center team at Unilever has created a scalable model which discovers and prioritizes the right current trends for our brands to leverage. But we didn't stop at that. We also created a viable solution which predicts future trends based on how they travel and time lag. This innovation is driving a systematic change in how Unilever plans new launches.
Every business deals with a dynamic landscape that is shaped by the 4 C's: competitors, consumers, channel partners, and category. While companies depend on insights for each of these, getting these insights can be time-consuming and expensive. Hence, there was a need for a holistic insight generation platform that allows users to extract insights from multiple unstructured sources and unify them on a single platform that is scalable across data sources and industries. To achieve this, Absolute Data developed an AI-based platform fueled by natural language processing, signals intelligence. The platform brings structure to unstructured data and unifies data sources to bridge the data divide. This platform enabled our client to chart their innovation roadmap for non-dairy products and repurpose their marketing for processed food.
As per a report of Group M, Indian TV ad revenue pie is estimated at rupees 38,000 crores for the year 2020. Media planners create television plans focused on their target audience, priority states and state groups, and relevant content. Media planners take multiple decisions while creating a television plan. A. Which program genres? B. What day parts? C. Which day of the week? D. Which programs? E. Which ad breaks within the program? And F. What position within the break?
Ad rating drops with increase in ad length provided the remaining variables are kept constant. This knowledge can be used to make TV plans more efficient. However, to make this actionable, we need to identify optimal ad length for different combinations of variables. We have analyzed 1440 combinations of top 6 variables which influence ad rating and have determined optimum ad length for 393 such combinations.
Simulation of 50 monthly TV plans after replacing higher ad lengths with optimal ad length resulted in an average saving of 2.5% in cost per rating point. Optimal ad length guidelines has the potential of saving 1200 crores rupees of TV ad spend. Thank you.
Hello everybody. I hope you can hear me. And it's a great delight to receive this award on behalf of Hindustan Unilever for a work which is very close to my heart. And it has driven great business impact in terms of planning new launches. And we were delighted to see the predicted trends coming into life. And I would really like to thank the entire CMI team and the PDC team at Unilever in driving this so passionately and working on this to achieve what we have got today. I wish we could celebrate this in person with lots of hugs and maybe with a can of beer. But yes, uh, we will do that when we meet in person. So thanks once again, MRSI, for this lovely award. Really delighted. Thank you.
Absolutely delighted to see that. Congratulations, team Hindustan Unilever. Really proud to see you winning this award as well. And thank you, Dr. Gray. Sorry. Okay, now the next award is Dr. Lalit Kanodia Laureate Award for Technological Excellence. I'm proud to invite Dr. Gray once again and Mr. Rahul Kanodia to do the honors. Mr. Rahul Kanodia is the CEO and Vice Chairman of Datamatics. Can Rahul and Dr. Gray come to the stage, please, and announce the finalists and the winners? Welcome back, Dr. Gray.
Thank you. So I'm very pleased to introduce the 8th anniversary of the Dr. Lalit Kanodia Award for Technology Excellence in Market Research. This award was instituted in 2013 by Datamatics in association with the MRSI and SOMAR in order to motivate market researchers to not only integrate technology-led leverage in generating better insights, but also to share best practices with the other consumer insights practitioners. Some of the past winners of this reputed award includes Nielsen, Hindustan Unilever, InMobi, Crown IT, Bark, etc. It is an accepted fact today that no market research can exist in the absence of technology. hence leading the award category to be highly competitive as well as highly contested. Some of the key criteria for this award include the uniqueness of the technological solution, its relevance, the potential to cross-apply, and the overall cost and time for implementation. The jury of this award consisted of Sanjoy Dutta, Head of Marketing Research at ITC, Sonia Powell, CEO of Carvey Insights, Derek Ray, Chief of Measurement Science and Business Analytics at BARC, and Snehanshu Mitra, the CEO, Center of Excellence, Data Science, and Artificial Intelligence. The finalists in alphabetical order are InMobi Technological Services, Insize Data Labs, and Vidi Technovations Opportunities Network. Let's hear from the finalists.
Up is Vidi Technovations.
Two things are causing a tectonic shift in digital marketing. By 2022, third-party cookies will not exist as Google, Apple, and Mozilla will block it completely. The second is that 91% of the time spent on mobile is in-app, where cookies simply don't exist. Hence, there's an urgent need to create a cookieless solution for digital campaign effectiveness. We did this by using a mobile device ID as a globally accepted unique identifier of a mobile device. In partnership with the Trade Desk, we were able to then create control and expose groups deterministically for running the surveys. Using their cross-device graph, we were able to find the same user across multiple devices. And then, using our proprietary technology, we were able to show in-app surveys to users across thousands of apps present globally. This solution is currently being used by clients across India, Australia, Indonesia, and Vietnam, and is available in North America and the Asia Pacific.
How do you get consumer feedback? From a hard-to-reach audience, women in small towns from the lowest socioeconomic classes, in 3 states across India, in a week, cost-effectively? We live in an age where products evolve through user feedback. Companies are building increasingly for niches, catering to harder-to-reach demographics. Consumers would also rather participate in a conversation than a survey. For a successful market research today, companies need to reach the customer where they are, through a medium they are comfortable with, in a language they understand. Also, they need to make it feel like a conversation, not a survey. Presenting Marin, a messaging app-based survey tool that is a solution for getting quick, accurate, and reliable results in no time. Create easy-to-use surveys. Deploy through a simple, shareable link. Collect and store validated data online. Automate analysis. It's that easy. Marin. Simple, uncomplicated conversations. Get more info on Marin.io.
Congratulations.
And let's now hear from the winner.
Right. Looks like the winners are not able to log. Thank you, Rahul, and thank you, Dr. Gray. This is the irony of the technology. They won an award for a technology excellence, and they're not able to log in to say thank you. But that's how real life is. And Rahul, you were getting a little too eager to announce the winner, but that's okay. At least you didn't announce the wrong one. Right, so moving on, what we have now for you is a little bit of fun in between the awards. We've got a team from Millward Brown. We've got Sachin, Vivek, and Prachi, who've created a few minutes of video for you. There are also Karan and Fawaz, who were behind the scenes. And of course, Shweta Bhardwaj, who was the director and the producer and the creative writer, apparently, of this. So let's hear it from the team Millward Brown. Can we have the video, please?
इस कहानी के सभी पात्र व घटनाएं काल्पनिक है। इसका किसी व्यक्ति या घटना से कोई संबंध नहीं है। यदि किसी व्यक्ति से इसकी समानता होती है तो इसे केवल एक संयोग कहा जाएगा।
जैसे T20 बोले तो IPL, बॉलीवुड बोले तो फिल्म फेयर, हॉलीवुड बोले तो ऑस्कर, वैसे मार्केट रिसर्च बोले तो MRSI, और MRSI का अवार्ड मिले तो एक नंबर। बट भाई लोग, सबको मानना पड़ेगा, पिछला साल बहुत खराब था। मतलब धंधा आधा, बट उसके लिए एफर्ट बहुत ज़्यादा। बट ये लॉकडाउन में भी अपने कुछ पंटर लोग हैं जिन्होंने मेंटोस का गोली खा के दिमाग का ऐसा बत्ती जलाया कि बोले तो कुछ हटकेच कर डाला। और ये लोग को लगता है कि जो हटके उन्होंने करा है उसके लिए उनको अवार्ड मिलना होता है। तो देखते हैं ये शाणे लोग ने क्या किया है पिछले साल जिसके लिए इनको लगता है इनको अवार्ड मिलना चाहिए। चलो देखते हैं, बोलो भाई लोग।
अरे क्लाइंट से ब्रीफ मांगा तो बोला कि पहले वाले ही फॉलो करो। अपन एकदम शॉक्ड, मतलब समझ में नहीं आ रहा क्या करूं, और पूछने गया तो साला नेटवर्क चला गया। फिर कैसे तो दिमाग में कुछ आइडिया आया और फिर ऐसा रिपोर्ट बनाया है एकदम क्लाइंट अप्रिसिएशन वाला।
वो कैसे?
हेलो, या कैन यू हियर मी? हेलो, हाँ, हेलो, या विवेक, या हाय। So, what is the exact objective of this call? Yeah, I think I've already mentioned on my mail that you have to use the brief that is already there. हाँ, कुछ तो बताओ, मतलब फॉलो करना है, मालूम समझ गया, पर कुछ तो नया होएगा ना, कुछ तो बता दो क्या करना है, इसमें क्या है नया। हेलो, Phew. Yeah, so that was the brief. I have given you all the details. Now I really need to rush into another call. So good. Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
अरे पर तू सुना नहीं?
वो बड़े लोग कहते हैं ना कि you should know the pulse of the client. Just give them what they want. So अपन को exactly मालूम तो client को क्या चाहिए। तो वैसा ही रिपोर्ट बनाया, सिंपल।
Right. Thank you, Team Wilbur Brown, for that. Now, moving on to one of the most special moments of the evening, the honor of the Lifetime Achievement Award. Um, this is award, I'm going to call somebody to sort of talk about that award in details. But we must tell you that unfortunately, because of this not being a physical event, we've not been able to invite the recipients of the award to this particular venue. However, what we have done is that we have had the privilege of going to their place and giving them the award and recording their speech, acceptance speech, and them talking about their life, etc. And we will, of course, show you those videos as well. But those videos are a little bit like the reality TV. They were recorded at their house, so you might hear some birds sort of talking in the background as well, and you might see some other things. But it's all, those are great videos, and we look forward to that. I also must tell you that right now more than 400 people are watching this live, and that's an incredible amount of number of people are watching. So well done. Keep watching and keep logging in as we go on. I'm going to invite now for this special moment Mitali Chauhan, who's the Director General Designate of MRSI, to sort of talk about the Lifetime Achievement Award and how we went about this. Okay, Mitali, over to you.
Good evening. I'm Mitali Chauhan, Director General Designate of the Market Research Society of India, MRSI. It's my privilege to be your host for the next section of the evening, taking the baton from the debonair Manish Makijani. So far this evening, we have seen how the MR industry has renewed itself today and is looking to the future. However, let's consider the past as well, especially those individuals without whom we would not exist in the industry we know today. This is the time when we show the appreciation to our seniors as well. The Lifetime Achievement Awards are just 1 year old in an industry that is more than 60 years old. So we have really a lot of catching up to do. This year, we were helped by a committee to properly design the Lifetime Achievement Awards. They decided who we must consider for this award and how we should select them to create a robust process of nomination and selection. The committee was chaired by Preeti Reddy, CEO South Asia Insights Cantor, and along with Prashun Basu, Global Head Strategic Alliances and New Businesses, New Verticals, Nielsen IQ, Chandan Mukherjee, Head of Consumer Insight Strategy and New Business Development, Nestle India, Ashok Das, Senior Advisor, Hansa Research Group, Sandeep Arora, EVP, Head Consumer Management and Consulting, Datamatics, and also myself. What quickly became clear was that there exist cohorts in the industry based on the year of which various nominees had started their careers. Those who started their careers pre-1975 were given priority and were placed before the jury panel this year. And what an amazing jury panel we had. Without a moment's hesitation, every one of them agreed to share their experience and expertise with us. How lucky were we to have in the same virtual room, Dorab, Meena, BV Pradeep, Pranesh, Priya, Rags, and Thomas. To explain to those of you who are a little younger in the industry, these are the giants who went before all of us. Dorab Supariwala, currently editorial advisor, NDTV. Dr. Meena Kaushik, chairperson, Quantum Consumer Solutions. Priya Tandon, APAC director, qualitative research, TNS, retired. Rags Raghavan Srinivasan, now consumer consultant and coach. Pranesh Mishra, chairman and MD, Brandscapes Worldwide. BV Pradeep, global vice president, consumer and market insights, Unilever PLC London. And Thomas Pulyal, head marketing area, SPJIMR. Before I move to the next phase, I'd just like to remind you that you may like to, when the video plays, you may like to click on that particular screen because as this was a Zoom meeting, some of the details are quite small. We had many people, there are many tiles in the screen, and also you may not be able to read some of the subtitles that we've put in. Here is a small video that captures this epic meeting.
Mine, but I genuinely can't tell you the feeling I'm having right now. This was one of the agenda points I'd written when I was contesting, that we have to figure out how to basically get the senior veterans to plug back in, and we weren't very clear as to how, and somehow it sort of worked out so well. And I've seen some of the mails that have been going up and down. Truly, I mean, I'm so happy that all of us are in it.
We started making, the jury panel, and we came up with our most like the sought after jury members. And then we said, maybe they will not agree, and let's add another 3 people, add another 5 people. So we came up with a list of, I think, 10, 12 people. And as maybe our good luck and we are grateful that all the folks were on the top of that list. All of you agreed to kind of come in.
So we have Preeti, who's led the committee, supported by Proshun, and Chandan Mukherjee, who's we've dragged him out of Switzerland and taken him back to India. He's been fantastic giving us time on this. And of course, Sandeep Arora is our current president, MRSI, and I'm with the MRSI Secretariat as...
Ashok was also part of our committee.
Yes, yes, and I wanted to give his apology. You see, somewhere between India and US, we aren't sure exactly where, either geographically or in time. So, but he was really disappointed and he sent his regrets.
Yeah. We set up the committee because we wanted to institutionalize the Lifetime Achievement Award, and we wanted to have a set of objective criteria and a template that could go on for years, because we felt that this is something that we must do every year, and we must award and recognize the lifetime achievers every year. So we did spend a lot of time. We looked at the criteria, we looked at eligibility, we debated how to do it, the process. We started off as market researchers saying we should do a survey, and then better sense prevailed and we said we will do a jury panel. So that's how we've arrived at where we are. We've come some way, and then Dorab, we kind of inducted him, conscripted him into it, because he was the winner last year, and we know Dorab always has a different perspective, which he did give us. And so what we have arrived at, Dorab is as culpable as us. So he's part of the jury, and you can also question him. I think he has questioned us. He raised many questions. We fine-tuned it. There is still some way to go, and we leave it to the jury to do that.
So we have looked at a few sort of eligibility criteria. At this stage, we have looked at people who have sort of started their careers before 1975, to recognize people who have been there, who are sort of in the founding stages of the industry, which has come a long way, and I'm sure still has a long way to go. We've looked at people who have at least got 25 years plus of work experience, out of which 10 years plus should be in market research industry. They should not be directly involved as a full-time person in any of the industry bodies or any of the, let's say, the agencies or the client side. They should be in the top 1 or 2 levels of the organization. So it could be from the agency side, it could be from the client side, but somewhere where they have achieved certain things in their career and have also created a certain level of impact.
This is an award that the rest of the industry is going to be looking up to. And hence, it cannot be a consensus or a compromise candidate. It has to be somebody who is very objectively sort of selected and therefore can be backed. Of course, it's a bit like comparing Amitabh Bachchan and Dharmendra, and one doesn't really know that who's better.
Perhaps without realizing the names of those individuals and why we owe them so much. Guided by our jury panel, we acknowledged posthumously into our Hall of Fame the late D.V.N. Sarma, President ORG, who started the first ever market research agency in 1961, the late Ramesh Thadani, President IMRB, who laid the ground for many integral services and offerings that created businesses and operations that continue even till today. This includes, believe it or not, the MRSI. The late Shilu Chattopadhyay, Director, GFK Mode, an exceptional mind who spearheaded respect, recognition, and revenue to define what the MR profession stood for. I take this opportunity to thank their families, Sudhir Sarma, Nandini Chavali, Mrs. Rubina Thadani, Rishi Thadani, Mrs. Shoshati Chattopadhyay, for their help and support in our endeavor to pay homage to these personages. Please remember when you watch the video that is to come that you need to click on it so it becomes full screen, or you may not get the full impact telling you all the details of their life. We have an AV to remind us what amazing professionals they were and what exemplary human beings. And we hope that they are smiling down on us today. That was such an amazing video. It was so amazing to learn about them. We owe these individuals an immeasurable debt of gratitude. Thank you again, Mr. Sarma, Ramesh, and Shiluda. Opportunities, recognition, and ways of working that we often take for granted are thanks to the foundations built by these veterans. Let us think for a minute of an MR environment that existed before they transformed it. Imagine an era where statistics did not inform action. Imagine a time when market researchers were mere questionnaire pushers. Imagine branding and marketing devoid of any science. Imagine that Indian market researchers had no value in the global scene. We live in a world today where we are at liberty to be the best of the best and to rise to the highest of heights, all thanks to our illustrious predecessors. I now come to the final announcements of my segments, the unveiling of the winners of the Lifetime Achievement Award. I now come to share with you, we are lucky that we were able to reach out and thank in person the two winners that we have of this year's Lifetime Achievement Award. And we are happy to share some amazing moments with you. As Manish told you, we were actually lucky to meet them in person. And in a very live, natural setting, we were able to hand over the awards. These individuals, the two individuals who are the winner this year, started their careers in 1960. And when we met them today, we found they have more energy than many, minds as incisive as ever, and are ever more relevant in these challenging times. I reconnected with both after a decade or more and was awed to find their professionalism and sheer brilliance still shining brightly. In alphabetical order, our two winners are Shamal Ghosh and Titu Aluwalia. We'll first share a bit with you about Shamal Ghosh, as I told you in alphabetical order. Shamal Da's career spanned 50 years in India and Asia. Some of his career highlights: he headed the MR function in Hindustan Lever in the mid-1970s. He was VP marketing at Reckitt and Colman in India before moving with them to Singapore. In Singapore, he set up his own company, Marketing Modelers, 30 years ago. While many of us bemoaned our fate during the coronavirus, he has taken to writing poetry over the last few months. He is cerebral, philosophical, and shares with us some hard-hitting takeaways on how we as an industry should deliver value and stay relevant. We will now show you a video which shares with you a little bit about his amazing journey. You will also see Sanjay Datta, ex-president of MRSI, handing him the Lifetime Achievement Award trophy in his beautiful terrace in Kolkata. And we will end with his very, very gracious acceptance speech. So we will also be privileged to hear his words to MR practitioners of today.
We have known Shamal for at least 25 years. And in the past 25 years, Shamal has been to me a mentor and a friend. And to our company, he's a role model. And also he's also a collaborator in a few products that we work on. Able to do ratings in the most scientific manner because Shamal is a very exacting scientist. The other thing about Shamal is that, he is, like he always quotes Ramakrishna, as long as I live, so long do I learn. And Shamal is not only a teacher, but he is also, and what we have done is we have always listened to him intently. He is, like I said before, he's a storyteller. He talks about the philosophers in India. He talks about science. He talks about quantum physics. And he's very, very proud of the fact that he is not only a marketer, but also a marketing researcher. And the fact that MRS India has recognized his achievement and given him this lifelong achievement award, I think, congratulations.
Model Shyamalda. I speak in a twin capacity as his formal business development associate for the period 2005 and 2010, where I was helping him out to establish his market modelers business here in India, and also now in my capacity as his well-wishing, interacting friend. There are three aspects about Shyamalda that I would like to touch upon. Number one, his contribution to me as a professional. Number two, his contribution to marketing and market research as a community and fraternity. And the third one perhaps is not very well known to people, his current evolving role as a budding poet philosopher. Firstly, his contribution to me as a professional. Shyamalda really got me to understand and ingrain and practice that marketing is a science, and that marketing research, which is an integral part of marketing, is actually its custodian and executing body for keeping that scientific temper alive and kicking. Most importantly, for putting me on the track of realizing that there was so much in terms of thinking clearly, and that I needed to work on my thinking productivity. And now, as a result of that, I'm actually running interventions on helping others to do the same in the area of thinking productivity. I still remember very vividly Shyamalda's kind of cutting and pulling me upwards when he said that I am surprised, and I think he used the word appalled. I am really surprised and appalled at the shoddiness and the laziness of your thinking some 15 years ago when we started this journey together. But it has been life-defining for me in a very fundamental sense.
Very nice to meet you.
Mr. Ghosh, it's my proud honor and privilege to present to you, on behalf of Market Research Society of India, Lifetime Achievement Award for your stellar contribution to the market research industry.
Well, thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Thank you. The Market Research Society of India has really done me a great honor by selecting me to be the recipient of your Lifetime Award. An honor which I don't think I really deserve. And let me tell you that I don't have words sufficient enough to express my gratitude to all my friends in the society. So thank you very much. You know, a thought that occurs to me very strongly is that I have been extremely fortunate in being associated with this world. And fortunate on two counts. Number one, through my association professionally, I've been able to meet some wonderful and great human beings in the world of market research. And they've become very strong and lifelong friends of mine. People whose minds are fabulous, tremendous to interact with them. But not merely minds, and human beings are great. I can mention many names, but many that come into mind, but out of many that come into mind, first I'd like to mention the name of Dorab, my friend Dorab Sipariwala, who very deservedly got your award last year. And of course Shilu Chattopadhyay, who unfortunately is no more with us. And Sudipto Sinha, and Ramesh Thadani, and many other names. This world, this market research, has given me a tremendous opportunity of learning. I have learned a lot. And in the process of learning, I've come to the conclusion that perhaps market research is the most difficult job going in the world. No, I'm not exaggerating, nor am I joking. But think about it. What is our job? What do? We try and understand the consumer's mind so that we can persuade him or her to buy the brands that we are suggesting. Right? So we've got to understand how the consumer's brain works. As you know, the most complex glob of matter that has been found in the whole universe as of today is the human brain. So to understand that is a difficult job. And to understand that in its deep, minutiae, because the persuasive powers that we have are very limited indeed. We can only refer to their self-interest. So you've got to understand those self-interests very deeply. After 50 years of this proselytizing, if I were to summarize the basic message that I want to spread, I would say that I want to destroy 3 binaries that I have found in this world. So let me spend just a few minutes talking about these binaries. The first binary is between marketing and marketing research. And my first mission might sound very ironic today when the Market Research Society is giving me this honor.
I hope you enjoyed that video. It was a real pleasure for us to organize and make that happen in Kolkata on Shamal Ghosh's terrace. I now take you through our last segment of this particular section, and I'm delighted to present to you Titu Ahluwalia. He is unique in that he headed 4 of the largest agencies in India: IMRB, MARC, ORG MARC, and Nielsen ORG MARC. In 2003, he took premature retirement from Nielsen ORG MARC and has since focused on issues with civil society. He spent recent times making a difference to the life of underprivileged in villages. The words that people associate with him, and which he says himself, is he talks about how he always challenged the status quo, describes himself as a maverick. The word that people associate with him is his charisma and his chutzpah. And I think I will now hand you over in a couple of minutes where he tells you something about what his journey has been, and also has very, very relevant words which he shares with for the industry today. You will see now highlights of Titu's careers with a few rare archival photographs, a little snippet where Manish Makhijani and Praveen Nijara, Vice President and Secretary of the MRSI respectively, present him the Lifetime Achievement Award in his beautiful balcony in Mumbai. And finally, we will end the segment with Titu's inspirational words to the MR community.
Titu was born to be a chairman. He would have been a chairman no matter which industry he would have chosen to work in. He had an uncanny ability to form relationships. He was a host par excellence, and he could be generous to a fault when he chose to be so.
rare human beings who is compassion in action. Everything that he's committed to, that he feels deeply about, he doesn't just talk about, he actually goes and does. In fact, he talks very little about what he does. Whether it's Citizens for Peace, Citizens for Justice and Peace, Conscious Foods, he has been at the heart and center of these organizations.
So congratulations, sir. Thank you, sir. Absolute honor once again. Thank you. Thank you for everything that you've done for us. I'm standing next to Mr. E.P. Aluwala and Praveen Kishana. We are here to do the honors of giving him the Lifetime Achievement Award trophy. And I must say that what an absolute honor and privilege this is to be standing next to you, sir.
Thank you, Praveen, for this award. I must say your tenacity in digging me out would put the Archaeological Survey of India to shame. Jokes aside, as I gratefully accept this award, I want to tell you that I feel really very humble and extremely astonished. I feel humble because for whatever I may have achieved, the explanation really lies in a strange, perhaps inexplicable combination of great coincidences that led to great opportunities, of great mentors coming along the way, and of great colleagues, many of them much more capable than I ever was. I also feel humble because I'm neither a pioneer in the sense of having come before the others, because there were many others before me, like Eric DaCosta, like Chittu Mitra, like S.V.R. Tata, Viren Sarma. So they laid the foundations really of this industry. I'm also not a pioneer in the sense of being a change agent like Shilu Chattopadhyay, or a thought leader like Rama Bijapurkar. All I did really was to assemble teams of truly outstanding people and then just give them the freedom to operate as they wanted. So I hope I've explained why I feel so humble. Let me now tell you why I feel so very surprised, I would say dumbfounded by this award. And that, quite honestly, is because I have been no respecter of the status quo. I'm an oddball, a maverick, they said, who sometimes took on the high and mighty in the industry and upended the system. The establishment doesn't normally take kindly to such a person. So MRSI, I thank you, I thank you, I thank you.
Thank you so much. I hand back to Manish, who will be your host for the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Sally, thank you. Wow, what a terrific achievement. I'm just awestruck by simply watching the videos of Shamalda and Titu Ahluwalia. Congratulations, and we are really, really honored and proud to be bestowing these awards on you. Thank you very much, and thank you, Mitali. So we move forward to the next Golden Key Awards 2020. The next category is Best Insight to Create Impactful Communication. And I invite Ashwini Agarwal, CMI Director of Unilever, once again to announce the award and the finalists. Ashwini, welcome back.
Well,
Thank you. Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying the proceedings so far. So as Manish said, I'm here now to share with you the winners for the Golden Key Award for Impactful Communication. As you can probably guess, this award is actually all about originality and freshness as far as research and marketing thinking is concerned, linked to communication. What the jury members were specifically looking for in this award category was demonstration of the insight process in the framing of the advertising brief, the impact the communication created, and of course, the communication itself. Now, the jury for this award category comprised Kunal Jeswani, CEO Ogilvy India, Madhav Srinivasan, partner at Quantum Consumer Solutions, Arindam Som, founder, Brand Eigen Insights and Analytics. And I must also say I had the privilege of being a part of this jury as well. Now, the finalists. So we had 4 finalists for this award category, and the finalists are Godrej Consumer Products Limited, GlaxoSmithKline, Hindustan Unilever, and Ormax Consultants. And now, let's take a look at the nominations.
Goodnight has launched a new liquid vaporizer in October 2019 with a breakthrough innovation. The product has been designed to deliver superior efficacy and at the same time offer convenience of usage. It's a unique product proposition with changes in both aesthetics and product functionality. The communication concept was developed based on a new insight which is most relevant in the evolving household insecticides category landscape and is based on extensive researches including a usage and attitude study, need scope, pack tests, ongoing brand track, and multiple reports on product evaluation. Along with that, an enormous number of consumer emotions. The final communication was created based on all these data sources and keeping in mind the need to educate consumers on product functionality as well as the core values of the brand. The impact is visible in healthy trials for the new product, and along with that, a 6% gain in market share and movement in efficacy perception for the brand.
Hello, I'm Shafali Arora. I'm Kashika Lal, and together we're representing Kunar. Kunar, with its product offering of restaurant-like food at home, had helped consumers uplift from the distress of cooking. However, the brand recorded muted growth over the years. Through multiple rounds of consumer connects, the brand identified the needs of homemaker had evolved over time. For instance, she was no longer an expert in cooking and looked for hacks, and so on. It also identified that preparing meals or cooking at home was no longer limited to homemakers and had moved to other members of the family, households with single persons, etc.
We incorporated these insights into the new communication featuring Karan Johar. There were 2 big reasons why Karan was a good fit. First, the fact that he himself is a sign of progressive thinking given that he is a single parent, very open about his sexual preferences. 2, the fact that he can cook, anyone else can, inspiring many more to join the act of cooking. This ad has delivered best ever results for us seen in the last decade.
Godrej Expert Rich Creme's market share had been stagnant for 2 years at 32%, so it forced us to go back to the drawing board. Our extensive consumer research showed that premature graying and the need for safety and soft and shiny hair are the key consumer trends, so it meant talking to a younger target group. It was also important for us to address the chemical perception associated with a creme-based hair color, so we changed our product proposition to talk about 10x aloe vera. We revamped our product formulation and packaging after 7 years of launch. To further strengthen the communication, we also got Anushka Sharma in the film, which was a face relevant for our target group. Supported by an aggressive integrated marketing campaign, our brand's penetration jumped from 6.9% to 8.1%, and the market share increased from 32% to an astounding 35.5% in just 4 months. This phenomenal gain in market share has really helped us turn around our hair color business.
Are you also stuck with traditional ways to develop a communication for your brand? Have you ever wondered if there is a faster way to identify the consumer truth and develop an effective communication which is both TV and digital ready? Hi, my name is Prashant and I am from GSK Insights team. And let me tell you how we made our recent auto-driven communication impactful. The brand had lost a significant share in the year 2019. From the UNA, we identified a pathy to treat blocked nose was the biggest barrier. So we laid consumer journey using the social listening data and identified a consumer is more likely to treat blocked nose when he is not able to sleep during the night. So we partnered with Google to develop a digital ready campaign and leverage BLS 2.0, Google Analytics and Link to optimize it further for digital and TV. As a result, we saw a significant uplift in the brand KPIs, good BLS scores, and not only we regained our lost market share, but our share reached to all-time high.
All right, so those were the entries, and I must say, being a part of the jury member, we actually spent a long time in deliberating in terms of picking the winner. It wasn't, I can tell you, a very easy decision. So the Golden Key Award for the best impactful communication creative goes to GSK. Congratulations to the winners.
Hi team MRSI. My name is Prashant and I have Charu Malik with me. Thank you so much for this esteemed recognition. It is the awards like these that really motivates the entire research fraternity to go out, experiment, learn, and ultimately value add to the business so that the business reaches to a new high. And I would like to thank everyone for this prestigious award.
And we are very, very proud to be a part of this entire forum today, and glad and really appreciate the appreciation and the award that we got from the MRSI. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, team.
Congratulations, Team GSK. Congratulations once again. And thank you, Ashwini, for doing the honors. Now, before we move to the next award, we want to tell you a little bit of story of the COVID. COVID is obviously an underlining theme, not just for the event, but for our entire lives currently. So what we're going to show you is a little bit of a story by Ankan Bhattacharya, who's part of Hindustan Unilever Limited CMI. And he tells a little story of his own personal experience of COVID. Over to Ankan's video.
This next story is based on experiences which some of my friends had and some which I experienced myself. It's called The Last Flight Home. The phone rang again. It was the sixth time in the last 30 minutes. I sighed audibly and tried to fish my phone out of my pocket. It was him again. Hey, the meeting is starting in the next 30 minutes and I need the data now. Could you please send it to me? I think all of us have heard this statement way too many times. I think more so in the last year. Walking around the airport felt very different today. Maybe it was the fact that I was traveling after 9 months, or maybe the throng of mask-clad people reminded me of some horror movie. Don't know which. I walk around and I finally find a corner that is socially distant from everyone and just sit down there to switch on my laptop. I fire up my laptop and the screen flickers on. I see the Excel file on my desktop and click on it. And immediately I'm greeted by rows of color-coded numbers. I make a copy of it and save it to send to him. That's when I notice the Wi-Fi signal is gone. No internet? I curse again and I try to find the nearest hotspot. After 3 tries, I finally connect to the internet and start typing the mail to him. Hi M, PFA. I have come to hate these words. PFA, hope this finds you well. None of us are well. Why do we still ask these questions then? I try to push these philosophical rants out of my head and wait for a file to clear my outbox. That's when I see the phone ring again. I curse audibly under my breath. I try to put the mask on, try to gather my stuff, and that's when my phone falls and clatters to the floor. My patience is wearing thin. And I decide to pick up the call without looking at the caller ID and just start screaming. I have sent you the data. You will get it in the next 30 minutes. It took me some time to find the internet hotspot. So please, just bear with me. That's when I hear my mom's voice on the call. Are you okay? Is everything okay, beta? I was just calling to check if your flight is landing this evening. Everything is okay, na? I think something broke loose in me. And I could feel a choke in my throat. I tell her I'm okay. And I tell her that my flight is landing this evening. Due to the passenger rush and the lockdowns, a lot of flights got delayed and cancelled, including mine. I had to cancel my original flight and book another one in the afternoon. And I tell her that I will be home by the evening. I tell her not to worry. I could hear her smile on the phone. That's when I decide to call him up too. Let him know that the data is on the way. But I also decide to ask if he was doing okay. Just felt like the right thing to do. We don't seem to check up on people anymore. We don't seem to ask them if they're doing okay. And somehow now feels like the most important time to do so. Thank you. This next story is based on experiences which some of my friends had and some which I experienced myself.
Wow, thank you, Ankan, for that heartfelt story. I think a lot of us can relate to that story, having gone through that experience last year. So thank you, Ankan, once again. We're now getting into the last 3 awards for the evening, and we have, I think, more than 700 people are logged in now. So brilliant, and keep watching the last 3 awards for the evening. So the award we're getting into now is the Best Client Servicing Team of the Year. And I have the privilege of calling Soren Shah, Head of Consumer Insights at Godrej Consumer Products Limited. Soren. Welcome, good to see you here.
I'm extremely excited to announce the winners for the Client Servicing Team of the Year. This award is for the team that has consistently excelled in their deliveries and support to their client. We were looking for a client servicing team and its functioning quality and value of research, client engagement, and finally the people dimension. The jury for this award comprised of Ashwini Agarwal, CMI Director at Unilever, Madhav Srinivasan, Partner at Quantum, and Manisha Kapoor, Secretary General at ASCII. The nominees for this award are Ipsos, Q&Q Research, and Quantum Consumer Solutions. Let's look at their videos.
Thank you to MRSI for nominating the team. It's truly an honor. The team at Ipsos is a special team working with special clients at the end of the day. And I believe when individuals like doing what they do, they give clients and the business that little extra, which really makes all the difference. At Ipsos, we call ourselves game changers, and we are fueled by passion and the idea of making a better tomorrow for ourselves. And I'm extremely thankful for being part of this energy-infused team. We work hard, and for those who know us, we party even harder. We give our fullest. Something just like this.
Future, trace of us to a day, waka waka, hey, hey, we are the future.
Q&Q has been servicing Corteva Agri-Sciences, erstwhile DuPont, for the last 8+ years. Our account management team has been relentlessly striving to make sure that we contribute to the client's needs, fulfill their demands, and make research an integral part of their product development team.
I have been working with Q&Q for the past decade now, and it has been an immensely enriching experience. A highly committed, passionate, dedicated, enthusiastic and energetic team that I have worked with, always willing to learn, willing to experiment, willing to share the burden of the client, and we have used those insights, used that data for making real decisions in business. Of all the agencies that I've worked for in terms of market research, I think Q&Q by far stands much above competition. Hats off to the Q&Q team, great work.
Hi, I'm Aishwarya from Quantum Consumer Solutions. We are very excited to submit our nomination for the Best Client Servicing Team of the Year award. Quite counterintuitively, we do not have a system of having fixed client custodians. Rather, we have anchors who stay constant, and then there are fresh minds who bring in newer perspectives. Experts from across different disciplines collaborate to concoct a solid strategy. There may be many different people working on many different ideas, but what ties all of us together is one common principle, and that is the pursuit of human truth. We never shy away from sharing or presenting ideas and findings that may be contradictory to the client's sacrosanct business goals and beliefs. Rather, they value the honesty that we bring to the table, and we leverage their business expertise. This creates a system of authentic collaboration. We believe that it's good to know your client's brands, but it's even better to know the brand's consumers, and that helps us create the best client servicing experience. Thank you.
Golden Key Award for the Best Client Servicing Team of the Year goes to Q&Q Research Insights. Congratulations, team.
Thank you, MRSI and the jury for this appreciation, and me, my team, we are really, really delighted.
Thank you, MRSI.
And we are very delighted today. And I think the biggest thanks I would like to make to is my team at Q&Q for putting in all those hard work, those nights, that effort to make clients happy. All our field partners, our technical service partners, and finally our clients for making us look so good. A special thanks to Corteva Agri Sciences. Yes, for the case study which we presented for this awards. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. And the party now follows in office.
Thank you, MRSI.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, congratulations Team Q&Q. What a fantastic win. We now move to the second last award for the evening, the Best Client Insight Team of the Year 2020. I'm once again inviting Soren Shah, Head of Consumer Insights at Godrej Consumer Products Limited. Soren, welcome back.
What an exciting evening. And as we reach towards the end of the day, I'm here now to announce the award for the Best Client Insight Team of the Year. This award is about the team or the person who goes the extra mile to drive research within the business and work exceptionally well with agencies. We were looking for a great agency partnership. Number of agencies worked with consistently, quality of relationship with agencies, relationship with internal clients, client insight team, and research culture, and of course, the people dimension. The jury for this award consisted of Abhishek Saigal, Head of Consumer and Market Insights from Google India, Preeti Reddy, CEO Kantar South Asia, and Rashi Goel, CMO of Nestle India. The nominees for this award are Bundle Technologies, better known as Swiggy, Godfrey Phillips India Limited, and of course the incumbent holders, Hindustan Unilever Limited. Let's look at the nominee videos for the Best Client Insight Team of the Year.
The consumer insights function in GPI plays a very integral role given the tobacco sector that we work in. I think during the pandemic time, CIMR rose up to the occasion with consumer research, keeping pulse of the market, where we are, where we should be investing, and what kind of consumers we should be looking at. They're also very helpful in demand forecasting, identifying consumer pain points, and I wish Ritesh and his team all the very best for the future.
CMR function is a very, very important function for GPI. Ritesh and his team has made it very interesting. All the complicated data is converted into interesting trends which are helpful in making the meaningful decisions for the business. I wish them all the very best under this endeavor of MRSI.
Consumer Insights has always been a part of the senior leadership team. It is not just a decision support system for the organization, but also a part of the process of taking decisions. Looking at the capabilities of our CIMR resources in the organization, they have now further got involved into leading a cultural change initiative. Within GPI, CIMR has contributed greatly to building the organization rather than just feeding in information and data to the management. I really wish them a lot many more accolades and recognition in the future.
Wow. And the winner for the Best Insight Client Team of the Year Golden Key Award is Team Swiggy.
Thank you so much, MRSI and the jury for giving us this prestigious honor. It's great a feeling. I'd first like to thank our team, Ashwini, Lipi, Simant, Ankita, for all the hard work and heavy lifting done this year. I'd definitely like to thank our agency partners. This year, we had an open canvas where we actually chose to draw with our agency partners, and I think that's where the magic has happened and the impact that we've created. Extremely elated with this, so thank you so much to all our agency partners. Finally, the most pleasing part has been gratification that has happened within the org as well, and the impact that we've been able to create, and a function that is often seen as a peacetime function, more strategic, more slow burn. When it was wartime and when it really mattered, we came to the forefront and made an impact. So super elated. Thank you so much once again, MRSI. Thank you.
Again, and thank you, Soren, for the honors. Now we move to the final and the ultimate award in the evening for this year, the Golden Key Awards for 2020, which is the Special COVID-19 Award. And I have the pleasure of inviting President of MRSI, Sandeep Arora, to the stage for that. Welcome, Sandeep. Finally, you're on stage.
Thank you. Thank you, Manish. Thank you very much. Hello, folks. I hope you're enjoying the evening today. It's my honor to be able to present this very, very special award, aptly named the Special COVID-19 Award. In this particular award, there were 43 entries from 24 unique organizations. Almost a third of the entries actually came into this particular category. For market researchers, it has always been sort of known or seen, or we perceive ourselves that when it comes to this particular industry, we are not only laggards when it comes to technology adoption, but also to turn over a new leaf. As a jury member, I can tell you when I was going through these 43 entries, with every one of these entries, I felt nothing less than proud. I had goosebumps going on all over whenever I read the kind of things that the teams have done during this particular time when the whole world was locked down. It made me feel very proud as a market researcher. and a member of this industry. Before I introduce this particular, before I ask for the introduction video to be played for this, I would want us all to sort of clap and applause for ourselves for the time that we've been through. All of us have really lived through like heroes, and we should be very proud of it. I'll show you some of the things that sort of got done during this particular time. Each one of the entries submitted in this particular category is a winner in their own right. Can I have the award video, please? The introduction video. Thank you. So you saw the kind of awards, the kind of heterogeneity of submissions that we received in this particular category. It was a really tough decision for all the jury members as to say whose battle was less and whose fight was more. It was really an honor to be a part of this particular system, which got us a chance to be able to evaluate these kind of entries. All of them were beyond doubt the greatest. Jury in this particular category were Amitabh Gupta, Head of Consumer Insights at Colgate-Palmolive, Prasoon Basu, Global Head Strategic Alliances and New Verticals at Nielsen, R. Lakshmanan, Executive Director in Rural Electrification, and myself. We really had a fair amount of challenge, as I mentioned, because the heterogeneity in this particular category was huge. Therefore, what the jury did, depending on the type of entry, we created 3 large buckets and categories, and therefore arrived at a winner in each of those sort of bucket. Hence, the finalists in this particular category in alphabetical order are Aditya Birla Group, Datamatics Global Services, Hindustan Unilever Limited, Kantar IMRB, and Q&Q Research Insights. Let's have a look at their nomination videos.
Thank you to MRSI and the jury for nominating us in the COVID-19 award category. Our COVID-19 story is about how Q&Q chose to stay relevant during the lockdown periods by bringing field-level information to the agriculture industry. The lockdown period of April, May and June are the peak periods for the agriculture industry, being Rabi harvests and preparation for Kharif. It was at this time that they were left without any information, in the dark, finding strategies of how to place products, how to do promotional events. Q&Q decided to step in and intervene in this time. We launched Pragati, which were a series of newsletters bringing field-level information to the industry.
It was a sensitive project in the middle of a crisis. Datamatics took up this challenge and the impact was huge. In all, Datamatics helped over 600,000 migrant workers overcome hunger.
The BMC's COVID response project was about collecting citizens' information, asking for help. The project, which was more about a response center, was delivered with excellent KPIs using the principles of market research and consulting.
Very early on in the system, we realized that the number of repeat callers we were getting were far greater than what we should have expected. Hence, the insights from these presentations were presented to the Commissioner of BMC, who was thoroughly delighted to identify some of the blind spots that we came up with, and basis that the entire process was completely rejigged.
During the lockdown, we have distributed around 25,000 grocery kits to the beneficiaries identified through the BMC helpline. We remain committed to the cause of hunger and will continue to make a difference. Be care.
March 2020. As COVID resulted in a national lockdown, several questions grappled a diversified conglomerate. How would all of this affect the consumer and customer at core? And how will it lead to opportunities in the new normal? This required granular, in-depth yet a nimble response, keeping in mind the customer centricity principle of respond today to what customers will want tomorrow. We started working on Current Vistas, a novel exercise in Aditya Birla Group. Its objective was to get a $44 billion conglomerate immediate future ready by identifying consumer-centric mega trends that provide long-term growth opportunities. A three-phase approach was taken. Phase 1, scanning and development. Since an initiative like this needs a multidisciplinary approach to analyze its various facets, a cross-functional core group was formed with representatives from multiple teams, harnessing the jugalbandi of active and passive research by listening, observing, learning. Mesh of old and new research methods were used. The core group interacted with multiple stakeholders in urban and rural markets across India, like the usual suspects. And some hatke ones too. Essentially trying to understand how will India live, work, eat, transact, commute, communicate, shop, travel, and so on. This was then converged into 9 mega trends customized for each Aditya Birla Group business. Outcome: 9 mega trends. 44 sub-trends. All of this since 7 months of inception. A significant culture change. Some quotes from businesses on the trends. Phase 2. Trends to ideation. Gamified workshops to make the ideation process fun yet provocative yet constructive. Workshops had a mix of age bands, cross-domain practices, young, mid and senior stakeholders. Outcome: tangible, specific business spaces with clear business plans. Phase 3. Idea to action planning. Adoption of the trends by businesses leading to prototyping of 10 business ideas with a total potential of $1 billion in 5 years. However, Current Vistas is not just a one-time exercise, but a continuous process. Steps being taken to create a lasting culture change, making the trends viral through AVs, a central portal to act as a repository of trends, insights, and ideas. Quarterly deep dives to explore and amplify specific trends, continuous track of consumer behavior, to identify the lasting versus fleeting changes. Current Vistas is a journey and not the final destination.
Awesome. This is, as you can see, I'm sure, you are already feeling a lot of goosebumps, seeing and hearing the kind of things that people did. Now, the challenge that jury members faced in this particular thing was that each one of these entries, as I mentioned earlier, was very different from everyone else. We created categories, and within those categories, we basically got the finalists. In this special COVID-19 category, every entry that came in, all 43 of them were superior by far, given the fact that they had actually put a hand out at the time when it was needed most. However, because we had to rank and rate a few, we arrived at 5 finalists, but each one of them, as you saw, is very different. Hence, as per the jury decision, all 5 of these are finalists, are winners as well. So congratulations to each one of those. And can I have I'll probably need some hand here to help me with the trophies for 5.
Congratulations to all 5.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to all 5 winners. Here are your trophies.
Right.
Let's watch the winners now and their reaction.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, MRSI, thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, what a fabulous win. Congratulations to each and every 5 teams for winning that. And like Sandeep said, congratulations to all the 43 entries that came through. You all are the heroes and you all are the stars. So with that, we come to the end of the evening, and I would like to invite the president of MRSI, Sandeep Arora, back on the stage to close the event for us. Welcome back, Sandeep.
Yo. All right. Okay. So everything good has to come to an end. And so should this be. Before I start my um, the thank you speech, and there are a number of people who I have to thank without whom this wouldn't have been possible. I would want to sort of state is there was a time when we were thinking whether or not to have the Golden Key Awards this year at all. Given the kind of state that our industry was in, given the fact there was so much of negativity that was sort of spread around, it was almost till September, October, we were still wondering whether or not we should go ahead with it. And I think what sort of changed the perspective and the decision is when one of these members said that the time that you need a celebration or the occasions when you need to celebrate is most required at a time when we are going through distress. There's nothing that binds us together when we put our feelings together, our emotions together, and our achievements together to therefore try and see as to how we can rejoice, how we can celebrate, and how we can honor the heroes amongst us. And therefore, this entire journey sort of started at a fairly fast pace in terms of execution towards the end. While we were executing, and I'm sure all of the people who submitted their entries would know, that despite the fact that all of you actually submitted the entry on time, when your entries were actually passed on to the jury members, we realized that there had been a technical glitch. We were not able to see your entire submission as it should have come. Jury process was more or less sort of on the way of completion. Despite that, everyone in MRSI's core committee, as well as jury members, decided to bite the bullet. This is a platform where only the meritorious get awarded and recognized. And to ensure that each and every one of the entries which was submitted is given a fair chance is something that all of us held supreme in our beliefs. So therefore, despite the fact that we were running the risk of ruining our own image, so to say, by accepting the fact that we will not be able to hold the event at the date that we otherwise had planned, we still went ahead and ensured that the process of submission was repeated all over again. This ensured that every entry that was submitted was given a fair chance. Of course, what it did mean also that everybody here had to do the work twice over. So I think it's at a time like this, we are able to stand for our principles. This is the time when we are able to sort of show what is the grit we are made up of, and that defines the kind of people who we are. So with that, let me sort of move ahead and start the thanking process. First and foremost, my biggest thanks really go to the participants. All the participants, all 149 entries which were submitted with the kind of detail and enthusiasm and the fervor which went behind it, left all of us clueless. Last year, if you might recall, we had 167 entries, but across 13 categories, in a year that was booming. This year, we had only 8 categories, and a year that didn't sort of go the way we thought it should have. And that getting 149 entries just means to show what celebration and acknowledgement means to all of us. So my sincere thanks to each one of you as participants, the organizations which sponsored the participants to go ahead and share the pride that they felt in the work. Next would be our jury members. As I said, this particular platform of Golden Key Awards prides itself about the fact that nothing matters more than merit. And that can happen only and only if the jury process and the jury members are of a quality that the whole world acknowledges. The kind of jury members that we had, the kind of time that they spent, the process that went behind it was absolutely foolproof, if I may say, to the least. So my biggest thanks to jury members to make it all possible, to be able to give a neutral advice despite being in a situation when there was a conflict of interest. Whenever a particular jury member's team was presenting an award, presenting a submission, that jury member was recused and therefore maintained the integrity of the entire process. Thank you very much, jury members. Next in line is the star segment of today's evening, which I'm sure you would agree. That's the lifetime achievement segment. When I took over this particular role in 2019, one of the key agenda that I really had and one of the dreams that I had was how do we celebrate the senior veterans who so strongly form the basis and pillars of our industry. We are where we are because of you. And I can't say enough as to what went behind it to ensure that we are able to acknowledge all the work that you guys did. Thank you so much. So there is again a lot of effort that went behind it. And Mitali and Manish and the entire set of people who were there to contribute towards this was exceptional. We actually set up a whole methodology framework to ensure there was non-biasness. We approached the jury members who were from that particular segment or the era where they would have interacted with these people. Each one of them agreed without an eyelid being blinked. And I can't tell you how we felt, all of us. Thank you very much. Next, of course, are our partners, without whom you wouldn't have seen the kind of thing you have seen today. Uh, this whole virtual event is actually one of the first ones for us to handle as well. There is a whole learning, unlearning, relearning that sort of went behind it. And I'm glad we had the kind of partners that we had, Authorize, as well as um, Sutra, to be able to facilitate this. I'm sure you have enjoyed this particular moment. At the last count that I saw, we had 710 people attending this particular event live. So that goes on to say a lot of things where we are today from where we were last year. Volunteers. These are all the people who were behind the scenes and they just helped and helped without any expectation, without any selfish motives. The only reason being that they believed in a particular cause and each one decided to carry a can. Thank you to each one of them who contributed despite their hectic day life and these days, of course, nightlife, which also keeps you working at home. So thank you very, very much. Next in my list is the core committee members. These are the people who conceptualized this. I must take this moment to again acknowledge Manish Makijani from Unilever, who again bears the spine behind carrying this forward, along with Director General Sandeep Saxena and Director General Designate Mitali Chauhan, along with the other managing committee members of MRSI. All of you have really put in so much of work, it's not funny. And I'm very proud to say that this is a team which basically makes it. Without you, we wouldn't have been anywhere at all. Thank you very, very much. And of course, the party is on me. We'll ensure that we celebrate, but only after we thank our last segment. The last segment that I would want to thank are the people because of whom we are in this particular event right now. These are the winners. These are the people because of whom we were able to generate the kind of excitement, enthusiasm, and everything that sort of goes behind it. These are the people who are the stalwarts of our industry, and let me tell you that you guys are really the torchbearers on whom we rest our laurels. You guys make us proud. You guys bring the cheer to us at a time when everything else is in despair. So thank you very much again. I really want to thank each and every one of these people. Before I close my session, I would want to invite my team to take a bow for a job well done. Of course, there were some technical glitches, but a job well done nevertheless. May I invite Mitali Chauhan, Director General, Designate, Manish Makijani, Sorin Shah, Sandeep Saxena, Prashant Koleri, Diana Moraru, and Ashwini Agrawal. Thank you very much. And of course, Rakshit Shetty and Himanshu Manroa. Thank you very, very much, guys. Really appreciate. Thank you. Good work, guys. And with that, we'd like to sign off. We are a tad behind time, but wish you a very good night and see you in Golden Key Awards 2021. Thank you very much. Stay safe and take care of yourself. Bye.